Hey guys, once again, thank you for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. Guys, I want to talk about my base formation in my 49ers playbook, and it's the singleback doubles off close. And what's great about doubles itself is a formation. It actually gives you some very easy ways to read the coverage and anticipate what type of coverage your opponent is by little subtle views or things that you can pick up on the defensive players. So the defensive players on the split end and the slot receiver will tell you the type, will give you an idea and help you narrow down what the coverage you're looking at. I'm going to do this in a gameplay right now, and I'm probably going to jump around a little bit to try to find you different variations of this coverages. So you're going to see the score jump around just so you can kind of tell when we're making reads. But as far as my autos are concerned with this scheme, I'm going to be using dragon spacing, a halfback slam, the switch play, which is my cover 3 beater. It's going to be huge for easy yards. I'll probably jump to this play the most just because it's got the best setup. A man beater with the play action boot corner, and then I have some man beaters and some cover 2 beaters with this dragon spacing play. Now, anytime I'm actually going ahead and just labbing an offense, I'm going to go ahead and hit my left stick and click on custom play options, and I go to play all offense. Just because I don't want to work on my defense, I want to work on my offense for labbing purposes. And if the other way around, if you want to work on your setups for your defense, do play all defense and don't play offense. It's going to help you just get your skills down a little bit faster, your motor skills. And I'll take my time for these CPU games. I put it at 15 minutes just so I can get a bunch of at-bats, working a scheme, but still have to deal with clock management too. So once again, the formation would be working is going to be the doubles off close. And typically what I do is when I run it, I'm going to go ahead and have the stretch side go towards the wide side of the field. And I'm going to flip the play accordingly. Now, let's just go and see what comes out here. So basically, it's almost equal distance, but I want to show you that with this stretch play, this allows you to go ahead and tack your opponent to the outside. And it's a quick snap play that you want to go ahead and have your opponent take a look at. Now, what's cool about this particular this offense in the halfback stretch is that it gives you an easy way to read the coverages against your opponent. Now, look at the defensive backs over the square and triangle receiver. You got square that's got the markers right in between the middle of them, and then triangle actually has the markers off to the left a little bit. I see cover 3, and then watch what happens here. You could see that actually it turns into cover 3 coverage. I was trying to throw the ball, but I want to show you. I was actually looking to this wide receiver right here. I knew he was going to get an easy completion for a big down right over the middle of the field because of the cover 3 coverage. And that's actually where the area was trying to go to. Now, if you take a look, you could see I'm in the process of throwing the ball when I get a block shot up the middle to actually go ahead and take that throwing lane away. So once again, now look at the guys right here with triangle and square. These guys have the defensive backs that are straight up over the yellow lines. That's right in the middle of their feet. So what that typically means is that those guys are playing some type of a man coverage, and then I can use some type of man coverage beaters from there. So here's a 4th and 4. It's a money down. Once again, I've got man coverage reads here, so I'm going to whip this guy up. I'm going to go ahead and take this guy and put him on a route like that because I know it's man coverage, and I'm just going to go ahead and get an easy completion right there because I know I'm reading man coverage with that. So cover 1 robber, defensive back was going to roll down, take away the middle of the field, and I got another guy that's going over the top, so that's going to be my progression. So these guys are pressed right here. This could be another robber defense or cover 2 man, but you can see they're pressed like that. So I'm going to go into my cover 2 man beater. Got that set up, and with the route right here, this is my money route against it, and it just could be the wide receiver that's running that route, but he always gets separation against man coverage with this one. It's a cover 2 man. So actually it was cover 1 robber, but essentially it's the same type of a look as the cover 2 man. Same situation, but this is more like a robber defense. There's probably some type of a hole defender. And we can do, we could do a switch route, but I'd say probably your best bet is to do this route right here. Block the running back, not get tied up in the animation. And once again, we're going to keep going back to the same route over and over again if it's available to us. So you can see cover one whole press. Set this up once again. Probably the same defense. Gonna motion these. We can motion the guy out, or we can leave him a streak. You can see right here, this guy's actually an easy completion, and the other defender comes down and goes after the running back. So that's how he gets himself out of position. So that's a cover one whole press once again. Now we've got basically leverage of a cover two. So this is a cover two zone shell. Triangles in the inside, the other guy's on the outside. This is cover two. So we're going to go and streak up our guys right here. Motion him out. And I'm going to check it down to the running back. You could do a wheel route to actually get him upfield a little bit quicker. But you've also got those streaking routes that actually are clearing out the seams for you too. So that was a hard flat. So now we've got basically maybe another one cover one hole type situation. I'm going to do a curl route off the left. Streak in basically a whip route. And as I expected, it was man coverage. So we're just going to go and hit that and get an easy completion. Back at it again. Now we got a little bit separate coverage. We got some off coverage off the left, so it might be some type of a blitz with this. But let's just go and run the ball. See what kind of running lanes we can get against our opponent. I want to take a peek at the defense. It's just a little bit different. So it was a saw blitz, man coverage, but it was definitely man alignments because the guys were straight over, and that was a read. So this is once again another man read right here. So we can set this up like that. And this route right here is actually fairly easy yards right there off the left. We'll set this up once again. Take a look at the alignments. These guys look like it's man coverage here because they're aligned over the top. And we're just going to go ahead and try to pound that ball in there. And this is a 4th and goal type of situation. So this is the type of situation where you obviously want to get the ball into the end zone. So you want to use your best read of the defense. So you can see how the guy's off to the left. This is cover 3. So I'm going to go ahead and do the following setup. I'm going to do a streak. I'm going to do basically a fade route. And watch Jennings. Free as a bird. Just because the defender was slightly on the outside, knowing that he had to play to defend the outside. And because of that, I knew that seam was going to be wide open for easy completion. So set this up once again. And I always take the run, and I always do it to the wide side of the field. All right, so now we've got basically inside leverage. This might be some type of a cover 3 shell or basically some type of coverage where it's like a cover 6 or something. We're going to motion Kittle out, and if nobody follows that guy, I'm going to hit it. If not, I'm going to check back to the wide receiver. So leverage is a little bit different. Okay, so this is a hard flap. Let's go into some replay and kind of take a look at this again. So it's a cover 3 shell because this guy's lined up perfectly at depth behind this guy. But look how he's on the inside of this wide receiver. He's on the inside of this wide receiver. So that's kind of a tell for cover 3. Is that this guy will actually come out and against a cover 3 hard flat. Sometimes people can throw these little wheel routes and get an easy completion. This guy's falling back into the lane. Would take that away for interception. It could go pick 6 with it. So obviously the seam was wide open, but because of this concept right here and the way this is set up, I'm going to look to this route. This flat guy comes out to it, but because he has to play the flat in the outside, this whip route will be available for an easy completion where I can pick it up, 5 or 6 yards or more. So inside leverage, actually, both these guys are off to the left of my dudes here. So my guess is we're going to streak this guy up and set this thing up. And right there, I think that was a cover 2 hard flat in that type of situation because the one guy came down to the flat route. And it was a cloud, cover 3 cloud. So that's kind of why these guys didn't line up perfectly. So this is a man coverage. It's probably some type of a hole coverage. So we're going to set this up again. Motion this guy out for some window dressing. But you can see right here, against man coverages, that route is just money. And then I have a double move route above it that if the one guy trails it, I can hit the double move above it and actually catch my opponent off guard. So we'll go ahead and flip this play. Take a look at the coverages. One guy's inside, the other guy's on the outside, so that might be the flat concept again. So let's just go and take a look and see if we can hit the one guy over the middle. Can. So you can see the defensive backs fall back. I've got that seam route that I can hit against my opponent. Let's just see what we got as far as the play art. That was cover 6. So I got cover 6 off to the right. I've got matching principles off to the left side. So that's one of those things where you just see people play a little bit differently. It's going to kind of catch you off guard. Now I've got one guy on the outside and then the other guy lined up perfectly. I'm going to just run the ball in this type of situation because this is a really run-forced offense. And let's just take a look at the coverage. So that was a cover 3 cloud type situation. And let's just take a look at how these guys drop back with the cloud. All right, so this guy actually moves out. What happens with this defender? He comes down and bites. So this guy's a cloud. This guy's a cloud. And I think this guy right here is probably a cloud. So he was a cloud. Actually, not a cloud. I mean, he was a deep third, deep third, deep third, because these guys don't attack the ball at all. See how they don't attack the ball? But he immediately attacks the ball. It means he's playing some type of an outside run fit. So that was actually kind of a challenging run fit to hit, but I was able to go ahead and get a nice run out of it. So back at it again. Got off coverage. You got one guy that's inside leverage. So I like this setup right here. And that was man coverages in that type of situation. I just go ahead and look to my spot routes over the middle. All right, so once again, okay, so we've got the one guy slightly outside. So that's some type of a cloud coverage. I've got the other guy lined up perfectly. So in this type of situation, I'm going to go ahead and streak this guy up, do the whip, and do the one route right there. If I expect this correctly, what would happen is that route's going to clear out because one guy is going to go over the top and the other guy is going to let him go because he has to play the sideline with the cloud. And that's actually cover 1 off coverage, so they kind of messed me up on the reads because the alignments weren't perfect. Just go ahead and motion these guys to slip the play. Off coverage right here, in coverage, meaning this is cover 2. I'm going to set this up once again. And you can see you got a tight lane that you can complete that seam route over the coverages, but you can do it if you want to. So there's this cover 2 coverage. These guys float up. I've got this route right here, and I can throw underneath it. And you see how the person just sticks. I can still throw that because he's going to get positioning. This route right here clears out the zones, and this guy actually has to carry with it. But the way this is set up, this little wing route brings the defender down, and this route will be wide open over the top. So setting this up once again, we're going to flip the play. This is the double A gap defense. It doesn't give me exactly the perfect reads that I'm looking for. But I'm assuming this might be some type of a switch play. So we're going to highball Samuels. Just because we can get away with it with a really good wide receiver like that. Now we got cover 3. And here you go. Easy completion. The guy's got the inside leverage right there. I can get an easy completion for an easy touchdown. So guys, this is basically how you can read coverages. You're just looking at the alignment of the slot receivers and then the outside receivers. You can probably most of the time start with your read with the slot receiver and see where the guy is actually lined up on the slot receiver, and then look to the outside as your second point. And this is going to give you an idea of what type of defense you're running against, whether it's a single high or double high, man coverages or zone coverages. This is really going to give you a huge pieces of information on how to make your reads on offense. So guys, when you get in the lab, you want to go check this out, especially if you have a doubles defense or 2 wide receivers on one side, 1 in the slot and 1 on the edge. That's going to give you some great information. So once again, guys, thank you for your support. Until next time.